Alright, it's a lovely Friday morning. Thought it was gonna rain, but it's just staying overcast, but it's nice and cool. Anyway, I brought these two ignition modules to the... Oh! Quiet you. Brought these two modules into my AutoZone. It's right up the road from my house. They said that they cannot test this module. It's too old. They don't have the kit for it. And then the guy said, why don't you go to Napa? Because if anyone can test it, it's probably Napa. So here I am now across town at the Napa, and the Napa doesn't even have an ignition module machine anymore. They used to have one, but now they don't. And guess where they sent me? They're sending me to the Advanced Auto, which is literally a couple blocks up from AutoZone. So I just drove all the way across town to be told to go back up a couple blocks from where I was this morning. So, you know, hopefully when I get to the Advanced Auto, they can test these modules out and see if they're good. Otherwise, I don't know where else to go. Alright, just got out of Advanced Auto. I was probably in there 20, 30 minutes. Most of that time I was just waiting. I was swiftly reminded of why I don't shop here anymore. I only came here the one time for an OBD2 reader, and that was like enough of a chore. But I had pretty terrible customer service. But besides that, they didn't have the connector, even though the guy on the phone at Napa said that they did. So now I just called up O'Reilly's, because they're the only other auto store in town. The rest of the auto stores are just second locations of AutoZone, Napa, or Advanced Auto. And the guy doesn't have the right connector either. But the O'Reilly's guy was very thorough. He double-checked. He confirmed that it was, you know, the 7 flat pins, which it is. You know, he said it's the Hall effect type, which I actually don't know if it is or not, but I'll say yes, because he seemed like he knew what he was talking about. And he said he doesn't have the piece either. So no one in town has the piece to check this module. The only thing else I can think of is, you know, if maybe there's one up in the city or something, to see if one of those stores have it, because, you know, the stores in the city have more stock. I could try phoning them. We'll see if they have it. If they do, I'm gonna make the journey up there. I'm already out today, you know, and I really need to check this. And from what I've seen, there's no tool that I can easily get a hold of myself that'll check it. So that's why I'm going to the stores here. So yeah, I'll phone the one up that's, you know, 30 miles away and see if they have the piece. And then if they don't have it, I mean, I can replace the fuel pump, and if it starts working, then I know it wasn't the module. But I really would prefer to test the module, because if I need a new module, I have the piece set up already in my AutoZone.com account. It's already in the cart, so if I know I need the module, I can just click the button, and it'll get sent here in a couple of days. Alright. I just got off the phone with the stores in the city that's close to me. I, you know, don't want to reveal my location. But, even the stores in the city do not have the connector to test an 85 VW Golf. So, my option is to, I can check to make sure that it's getting the right voltage at the plug, but I can't check the module itself. So, my options are to replace the fuel pump and see if that works. Or if it is the ignition module, my only choice is to buy it. I really have no way to test it, right? Because even if it's getting the correct voltage at the plug, that doesn't mean that the module itself is working. So, I'm running out of options here. I'm really kind of disappointed that no one, even in the surrounding area, cannot check this for me. It's kind of funny. I mean, it is a VW. You know, but it's not, you know, it's not a 1957. I mean, not like those things had ignition control modules. But you know, it's just kind of interesting to me, with all the car culture around here, that no one has the ability to check this module. Well, hold on, that's not entirely true. There is one more place that I could check. There's a place that specializes in Volkswagen repairs in town. They mainly work on air-cooled VWs, but I think they might work on water-cooled as well. And push comes to shove, I could give them a ring, see if they have any kind of technology to diagnose it. you know, otherwise, like I said, I'm really just, I gotta buy the fuel pump or the module or both. So, you know, we'll see. Alright, I've done a bit of diagnosing today. I checked the fuel pump fuse again just to make sure that it's not bad. And then I was doing a voltage check at the transfer pump. And the transfer pump is the fuel pump that's in the tank. This car has two fuel pumps. There's the transfer pump, like I said, which is in the tank. Then there's the main pump, which is right next to the fuel filter underneath the car. Now, I turned the key and recorded, put my phone on record and put them close to each pump to see if I could tell which one it was. And I'll insert that footage here. Alright, this is the transfer pump in the fuel tank. And this is the main pump underneath. And I think I've come to my conclusion that it's the transfer pump, which is the one in the tank. Luckily, that's the cheaper of the two. It's about a $40 part, as opposed to the externally mounted one, which is about a $200 part. So, you know, you can listen back to the recordings if you want, but I believe it's the transfer pump. As I said, I checked the voltage, and I'll include that too. I set my phone up, so I plugged my multimeter's leads into the harness for it. Put my phone on record so it could record the multimeter screen, and then I simply put the car in the key on, engine off position so that the fuel pump would run. And as you'll see, it gets almost 12 volts at the harness. So the connector itself is not bad, so it's got to be the pump. So I was just sitting here editing this episode, and I was listening to the transfer pump footage when I had the multimeter in the transfer pump's connector. And I heard the main fuel pump actuate. And then when I plugged the transfer pump back in and turned the key again to record those two clips, which you saw, which were of, you know, me trying to figure out which pump it is, I realized that the noise didn't change at all. So we know for sure that the main fuel pump is working. It's not making a hideous noise, so it should be healthy. And by that reasoning, we know that the transfer pump is dead for sure. So I ordered a replacement from O'Reilly's. That should be coming in by the middle of next week. So while I'm waiting for that to come in, I'll be working on exterior jobs, you know, like degreasing the engine bay, doing a little extra cleanup, maybe vacuuming out the inside because I didn't do a super good job the first time I did that. You know, just general jobs while I'm waiting for that part to come in.